Good morning, students. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today we'll be dealing with a poetry written by Kamala Das. The name of that poetry is in your screen, an introduction. This is the title of our poetry. It has been recommended to our syllabus. So, I hope yesterday when I uploaded that presentation about Kamala Das, I made available some information to your end, and I guess that you get a bit idea about the poet and her attitude. I even discussed about her in the brief Google meeting yesterday after the presentation. So let us start uh, analyzing this poetry, trying to understand the view of Kamala Das. So, an introduction, I told you earlier that it is basically an autobiographical poetry. Now, autobiography, so kind of information that means it will be related to to her family or to her life. So it starts like this. An introduction. I don't know politics, but I know the names of those in power and can repeat them like days of week or names of months beginning with Nehru. In my presentation earlier, I told you that she contested for the Lok Sabha election, parliament election, and she was unsuccessful. So that means she was quite aware about the political scenario of India. And political scenario, if you are aware about political scenario, obviously you must be familiar with the names who are in power or who are in charge. So that's why he says, I don't know politics. She claims that she is not familiar with or she is not very good at politics, but yes, she knows the names of those in power, people who were in charge of this country, and can repeat them like days of weeks, such as we remember the days of weeks like this is Thursday, na? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it is like pretty much obvious that we remember things like this basic information. We learn these things in our childhood. Or names of months, the way we remember the name of the months. So does she remember the people who were in charge, which starts with Nehru, beginning with Nehru. Nehru means Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, our first Prime Minister. So this entire statement, I don't know politics, to beginning with Nehru, this shows that she is very much aware about the political persons, but she doesn't understand the politics and other things, but she knows who is responsible and who were those people who were in charge. Next part is I am Indian, very brown, born in Malabar. I speak three languages, write in two, dream in one. So first was about the politics and the name of the people. Next is the very identity. Who is she? Now she introduced herself as an Indian. She is an Indian, very brown. Obviously, our skin color is brown. Yep. Even for the white people, we are always brown, no matter how fair you are. So I'm Indian, very brown, born Malabar. Obviously, you can understand or relate why Malabar has been mentioned over here, because he belongs to that place. And she says, I speak three languages, write in two, dream in one. Yeah, this is something which all we do. I even can speak three languages. I can write in two. Obviously, I don't write. I'm unable to write anything in Hindi. But if I am still able to do that, I am not good at it. And dream in one. Yeah, the language which you are dreaming in is your mother tongue, obviously. She claims she speaks three languages, write in two. This line is very beautiful actually. It depicts the very Indianness, isn't it? Three languages I speak and write in two, dream in one. This is what happens. No matter how many languages you learn, you'll be dreaming in one language only. And then the reaction of the critics about choosing English. Why she chose English? Some people were unhappy with this, you know, choice. They were criticizing her. Why you are choosing English? You have your mother tongue, you have any other Indian language, you can choose that also. But instead of that, you are writing in English. What's the point of it? So they said, don't write in English. I told you that society loves to stay in the same path where it is right now. Society is always, or people of the society is always afraid of new things. When something new is introduced, they are always afraid, because we would love to, the it is also said that something which is moving, all it will try to move eternally. Something which stays in a particular place, it will try to stay in a single place. This is the formula. This is the sequence of Isaac Newton. It was been said. So does the society also. Society doesn't welcome any new change at first, but later on realization, uh, through the realization and experience, society accepted. Such as the online teaching. Online teaching in India, there's a company. You will find the logo on the jersey of Indian cricket team also, Baiju, I guess. It was the first learning app and first online teaching in India. We have seen this, but during this pandemic, we adapted new technique. Right now we don't have any physical classroom, or we are unable to meet in a classroom, and we are unable to share our thoughts in front of each other. So what we are doing, we are using remote systems, we are using internets for our purpose, because we want to study. And that's why we innovate, or rather we improvise. So here we are improvising. So that is also true, though at first many people objected to this idea, and they were actually criticizing many things regarding this particular system we are having right now. We are unhappy with this. Some people are still unhappy with this, but considering the situation outside, we need to adapt with this. So here it is also, don't write in English. The society always try to criticize things. They have done with other poets also. As earlier I taught you, kids face the same kind of criticism. Shelley also, and so does many poets also in their age. They blame her. Don't write in English. They were concerned about it. They said, well, we just got our freedom or independence from the English people. Why we are supposed to promote the language of the English people? Now, they are true to some extent. They were driven by a particular ideology. But on the other hand, English right now doesn't belong to a particular country. Now it is the language of the humankind. So many people said, perhaps the most spoken language, Chinese, Mandarin, then English. It's been very popular because it is easy. So it's up to the person that what kind of language she want to take. She wants to write. Society has the right to say many things. If you say that freedom of expression, then yes, they have the freedom to express their opinions, or they ventilate their grievances. But also we have this right to choose our own language on which we can write. That's up to us now. Nobody can force us. Don't write in English. They said. They said means the people around her, critics. English is not your mother tongue. See the point I told you earlier. It is not her mother tongue. She was born in Malabar. Obviously, her mother tongue will not be English. Why not leave me alone? Then she claims, why not leave me alone? She says, well, keep your opinion to yourself. Don't force it upon me. Why not leave me alone? And who are these people? Critics, friends, visiting cousins, every one of you. Basically, all the people around her. She is asking, why not leave me alone? It's my choice. Why not let me speak in any language I like? Yes, that is, this is also beautiful, and this is also very effective also. Why not let me speak in any language I like? If we are living in a free country, then obviously we can choose our language. We can choose our dress. We can choose what we can eat. We can choose whom we are going to make relationship. We can choose where we can live. It's up to us. Nobody can force us. The moment people try to force anything on regarding anything, it could be language, it could be dress, it could be religion, it could be food, whatever. The moment it happens and the people accepts it, that is the moment we lose our independence. No matter whether we are free from the foreigners, no matter whether we are free from the influence of the uh, other countries, we lose our freedom the moment we are forced to accept things which we do not like. You lose your freedom that moment. That's why she says, why not leave me alone? Critics, friends, visiting cousins, every one of you, why not let me speak in any language I like? She's urging, why you are not allowing me? You say this is a free country, this is a, you say we got our independence, we got our freedom. Then why is it not acceptable whatever language I choose? The language I speak becomes mine. Its distortions, its queerness, all mine alone. The languages are not perfect. There are many imperfections in the languages. Regarding, if you are familiar with the idea of phonetics and linguistics, you will find Bengali language is very much close to the linguistics rules and phonetical rules. So but not necessary that English is also like perfect, because there are so many differences in English language. The sound of C, sometimes it is ko or k, sometimes it is s, or it sounds like c. So circus and cyber and cactus, all of, and even cat, cyber, the c, the pronunciation of c is c, s sound is there. But in case of cat, it starts with c, but it pronounced like k. So there are some differences that might be, and she is perfectly okay with this. It's not like that just because of this imperfection, or just because of this there is some sort of distortions or queerness is there, I should avoid this language. No, she is not give up. She is not going to give up any language. For her, whatever language she speaks, it becomes her. She is the owner of the language. That's why she says, the language I speak becomes mine, its distortions, its squareness, all mine alone. Then she claims, it is half English, half Indian, funny perhaps, but it is honest. It is as human as I am human. Don't you see? It voices my joys, my longings, my hopes. And it is useful to me as cawing is to crows or roaring to the lions. It is human speech, the speech of the mind that is here and not there. A mind that sees and hears and is ever. So basically, a mind which is educated, which is very much aware. So she is speaking about herself that you need to understand, it is half English. No matter how we try to speak English, obviously we won't be able to speak like the native speakers. you know so there will be a touch of our Indianness all over our speech. Some people, they are really good at speaking in English in such a fashion, in such a way that people sometimes consider them to be native speaker. But people like us, normal Indians, we're like half English, half Indian also. To some people it is funny, but also it is honest, and it is like human being. As I'm human being is like a balance of perfection and imperfection. You cannot say that as a human being I'm perfect. Nobody is perfect. If you are perfect, you will be considered to be a god. We are human, so we have a balance. We have some good qualities and bad qualities. We have some perfection, we have some imperfections also. That makes us human. Don't you see? She is questioning everyone. Then she says that the language which I choose, it voices my joys. It expresses my, happiness, my longings, whatever I desire, my hopes, my dreams. It expresses about. It is useful to me as crowing is to crows. Is cawing is to crows. That means, uh, like a crow, it caws regularly. Without cawing, it cannot exist, or it will be difficult for it to live. She explains that it is like a crow which caws, it is like the roar a lion does, it is human speech. For me, it is the expression. Through this language, I can express myself. The speech of the mind that is there and not there. The speech of mind. The language I am speaking about, it expresses my mind. It expresses the thought which I have, which I hold, which is here and not there. You cannot say you can express your feelings in this language and not in the others. It is up to the person which language he is preferring. Nobody can trust it. The speech of the mind that is here and not there, a mind that sees and bears and is ever. And then she claims that a mind which sees and hears, which watch everything and is aware about everything. So that will be all today. I'll be describing the next part in my next presentation. It's been already past 16 minutes, so I hope you understand the things I try to say over there. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel and help my channel to grow. Thank you again.